Yo, guys, what's going on? LuckyRave is back again to give you guys another Fairy Tale 100 Years Quest anime live stream discussion slash review. Now, it's been a while since I've actually done a double episode live stream discussion. And for those of you that are new, usually I do these kind of streams when, I've got something going on and I'm not able to tackle the episodes like the week of that they've come out. Given that I know episode 17 dropped on Sunday, which I do want to say I did kind of debate with myself. Do I want to talk about episode 17 with 15 and 16, or should I do a whole separate stream discussion just dedicated to that? And also, case in point, I haven't actually seen episode 17 yet. So I kind of thought, let me just tackle episodes 15 and 16 by, as its own stream. And then tomorrow, after I'm off from work, I will do a stream just dedicated to episode 17. So that's how this will go down. Today will be episodes 15 and 16 of 100 Years Quest. And then tomorrow is going to be episode 17. So just letting y'all know how the schedule is going to be. Today, 100 Years Quest episodes 15 and 16. And then tomorrow, it'll be episode 17. That'll be how it goes from there. So that this way, we're still able to keep the stream going as to like how the episode's going to be discussed and so on and so forth. You know? But given that, having said all of that though, let's go ahead. Let's just automatically go ahead and dive right into where we were at with episode 15, which we got to say this. Last episode ended off with Aldoron, okay? Like, you have the orbs being destroyed, and something was about to go down with Aldoron. And oh my god. Oh my freaking god. Like, first of all, episode, aside from the recap, which I've noticed that for a few weeks now, it's very, very similar to how it was during the Tartarus arc. For those of you that don't know, when it came to the Tartarus arc for the anime, like after a certain point, they started having like these 2 to 3 minute, like I think it was like at least 2 minutes, like 2 minutes of recap of what happened in the previous episode as like a lead into like episode that was at the time. And that's kind of what they're doing here with 100 Years Quest, where for a bit now, we're getting like these small little bits and pieces of like recap here and there. Which I mean it's fine, but same time kind of just like maybe we don't really need it. However, given that 100 Years Quest isn't exactly done yet, manga wise, it makes sense. It kind of makes sense as to why we're getting like this small, again, very quick summarized recap in the very beginning. But even saying that, we get the episode. Actually, there's also one more thing I forgot to mention. Between episodes 15 and 16, I love how they are adapting like the Omakis. And I've said that for a bit now, but the Omakis, oh my god. The Weeping Wendy Omaki with the bug, and then of course the Omaki with Touka. Like those Omakis, they really are like a shining light when it comes to the 100 Years Quest series because like it's very fun and it's very like whimsical, So I think it's kind of cool that they are like adapting that and just having that be a part of the episode. Even though it's like in the very, very beginning, I think it's kind of cool. Nice little treat too. Because sometimes when you see like Omaki stuff, and especially for volumes, 9 times out of 10 they really don't get adapted. So I really like how JC staff is like able to bring those Omakis and like just have them like be super, super quick in the beginning. And it is gonna help let 100 Year Quest kind of stand on its own, if you know what I mean. But getting to the actual content itself. So 15 tackles chapter 50 all the way up until like, I want to say like a good third of chapter 53. I think at least up in 2/3. Yeah, 2/3 of chapter 53. I had to pause there for a second because I was like, I'm pretty sure it's like at least a good 2/3 of it. But yeah, let's see here. So we're here. Buildings are starting to collapse. Aldoron is screaming. The town on the right hand. And Gray is like noticing, like, oh, geez, the town. And Lucy's like, this can't be happening. You're seeing like everything kind of like getting destroyed. Kana's like, no, all the people. And then this one citizen, just out of nowhere, says, not to worry, my friends. We've been awaiting this day for a very long time. And Gray's like, say, what? We're all a part of Aldoron. We are fundamentally different beings from you. And like you see like the little like leaves being sprouted off from their hands, and they're all just like, oh, excuse me? Aldoron induced body to rest for a long time. Many, many years. It linked those 5 orbs together deliberately, rendering itself immobile. And we seeds are born in this place, die in this place, and become a part of Aldoron. And Lucy's like, seeds? Oh, yes, we contain the nutrients to heal Aldoron's wounds. Listen, lady. This is great talking now. Listen, lady. You better start making sense or oh. And then she says, oh, I don't know who did it, but someone shattered the orbs in hopes of defeating Aldoron. And she's saying this like as she's becoming like a treat. But they were very wrong. To shatter the orbs is to loose the chains. And she's saying this like all super sinister, not sinisterly, sadistically. To bring the dragon back to life. To crown our king anew, we offer our prayers to the great trees. And you see all this happening, and they're all just like, oh, shh, okay, let's get out. All right, everyone, tactical retreat. And Lucy's like, but the others are still Gray's. But Gray goes on to say, nothing we can do right now except maybe pray. As all that's going down. You're seeing this, by the way. Okay, Aldoron is still roaring. Okay. Lucy is, covering her ears. Same thing with Kana. That's freaking loud. Oh, if only Juvia could use her magic plug to plug Gray's ears right now. And then you see what's happening. As soon as she says that, like Gray is like covered in a bubble. And he's like, wait, what? Everything just got quieter. And Juvia's like, huh? Lucy says, Juvia can use magic again. Why? How? I don't know, but it looks like my magic has come back. Could this mean everyone has recovered from Whiteout too? And you're seeing what's happening with the other guild members. They're all just like wondering what's going on here. Lox is getting Eartha back to safety. If I ever find out who did this to her, I'll make him pay. And thank heavens, okay? I've been saying this for a while, but thank heavens that Jalal is back. Oh my god. Don't get me wrong. It was funny seeing the other side of Jalal, but number one, I'm just happy he's back to, being the calm, cool, collected type. He's like, what in the world? And then you see Touka. Touka's just like, I'm sorry, not Touka, the White Mage. The White Mage says, what? What is happening? Aldoron, it revived? This wasn't what was supposed to happen. It can't happen. And this is where we start getting a big revelation, okay? Touka says, she told me that if I destroyed the orbs, Aldoron's power would be mine. And Mess goes on to say, what did you do to me? Where am I? What's happening? And again, the White Mage just lost. Like, the whiteout, it's broken. Why? How? Someone tell me what's happening. And of course, you got the dragon siblings. Big bro, little bro, Natsu, and I said little bro, big bro, little sister, Natsu and Wendy. They're just like, hey, that's our line. And Mess is like, Wendy? Or no, I'm sorry, Natsu, Wendy? And Wendy's like, Mess? Are you under her control too, Mess? And he's like, Natsu, the orb is broken. Under her? It can't be. I'll replay my memories. And then Mess like starts rewinding everything back, and he's just like, "Oh my god, I cannot believe what just happened." Like, maybe he's not under her control, that's what Happy says. No, I was, but the spell broke. Damn it, I see what's going on now, and it's nothing good. Can you use your powers to gather the others? Yeah, I can. Hang on. This was Wendy talking to Carla, by the way. And Carla says, "Yeah, I can't hang on." To which Matt says, "Not to be careful. She's, I know." And again, the white mage is like lost. Okay, like super, super lost. We'll have to worry about Aldoron eventually, but we're starting with her. And Wendy goes on to say, "I'm going to separate you and Touka, white mage. My powers. I can't use my powers. I've been had. It's that woman. It's all her fault." And OMG, let me just say this right now. As soon as I saw the mount, I was like, yo, we are gonna get the goddess herself, Black Moon Mountain. And you see the springs, you see this figure just like enjoying herself. She's like, Drazel, don't you hear it, Dragon Seal? You see the name you should have tipped off, White Mage. And by the way, I just want to say, this scene right here was censored in the anime, okay? For pretty obvious reasons, because television and whatnot. But the scene where you have Celine like just getting out of the oasis, right, or in this case the spa, like in the manga, you actually got to see like a good clear shot of her, like just getting out from the out of the spa. But in the anime, you still get that, but a lot of it's like kind of like foggied up, So there's that. But your part in this drama is finished. Now then, sweet little Aldo back in action. I wonder what I should do next. As she like pours like some sake into her cup, I think I'll continue to let things twist and bend. So the perfect circle of the moon more all the more obvious. Yes, warp and twist swirl into the most hideous shapes. Now while the moonlight shines down, Moon Dragon God Selene, and this is where chapter 50 ends, by the way. But I do want to say that Nana Mizuki, because she's the voice of Selene, okay? And she did a wonderful job. Like, it was just this entrance alone. She's done an incredible job as Selene. And oh my god. It's going to have me looking forward to a lot more stuff that we're going to see from Selene in the future. And I'm definitely 100% sure we're going to get some more stuff with where we're currently at. Because, I mean, again, because I'm only tackling episodes 15 and 16, that still leaves us with what? Like another 9 episodes? Yeah, at least another 9. And given with what probably was tackled with episode 17 too. 'Cause yeah, no, that is going to be interesting, honestly. But moving on to the next portion of the episode. Okay, Alderon's there. Everyone's like trying to flee. Okay, you see the back of the church. What's happening with Natsu and Wendy? So, did everyone under the white mage's control go back to normal? So, Happy talking. And Carla says maybe her spell seems to be broken, but I don't know how. To which Natsu says, still. Wendy says, I know. And you see Wendy like putting her bow back together. I'm going to separate the white mage and Touka now. Separation enchantment. And you see what happens. And they're split. Touka and the white mage are now like completely split from one another. And she says, Irene, lend me your power. To which Natsu says, Irene, then never mind. Forget what I just said. And dude, what Wendy did, ooh, dude, it was incredible seeing what Wendy was able to do. Everyone's happy Wendy was able to do something, but Wendy's like worn out after using such a high level spell. This place isn't going to last much longer, is what Carla says. And Happy says, grab Token, let's get out of here. And they do that, but then Natsu notices the white mage and decides to pick her up. And Happy's like, Natsu, what do you want to do with her? And Natsu says, I just don't even like it, okay? We don't even know what she really wanted here. And then you have Carla saying, she wanted to destroy the orbs to steal the moon dragon god Aldoron. She said so herself. But destroying the orbs awakened Aldoron instead. And then you have Natsu saying, Happy Carla, take Token the white mage and get away as far as you can. Go with them, Wendy. You can't help them anymore with your power exhausted. And she goes on to say, but Natsu, what about you? This is where my job starts. Dragon slaying. And you see him starting to take off. Then you have these ships. These giant, I say giant, they're not giant ships. But they are ships of forces, okay, from the Geltina Magic Council. So the great beast of old has awakened. We already have permission to engage. Like, okay, let's say this. These guys are pretty much fodder here, okay? Because they're here and they think, yo, we are gonna take on Aldoron, we're gonna succeed. Like, even like Juvia notices and she's like, oh my god, there's a bunch, like, they have the power that can kind of be similar to the Jupiter cannon. But you see what happens, okay? They land a blow on Aldoron, but Aldoron, he ain't having anything, okay? The man lets out not only just a mighty roar, but like tons and tons of beams, okay? And with just that alone, these guys, these fodders, are eliminated. And then this man, Ignia, okay, off like in the great distance of the volcanoes. You see Ignia pop up, and he's like, human weapons against the dragon god? Don't make me laugh. And then, of course, you see Celine saying, oh, sweet Aldo's mad now. Very well, my dear. I give you this whole world. Grind it into dust. Okay? Then we cut over to the next phase of the chapter, which is 52. Okay, Alderon's doing what he's doing. Nod says, whatever those ships were, I guess they're gone now. Now that's some trick. It leaves me in a pickle though. Like, how do I take down something this big? Hey, well, where do the town folks go anyway? They all run off? And he's like, who cares? Nothing to it but to do it. You and me, Aldoron, let's go. Fire Dragon King's demolition strike. And Natsu just does that, okay? He lets out a mighty blow to Aldoron. He's like, no dice, but nothing happens, okay? Aldoron is completely unfazed, and Natsu's like, I didn't damage him at all. But then, a C pops out. 1. You did 1 point of... It sounds so RPG-ish, too, when I'm, like, going back to it. You did 1 point of damage to Aldoron, and Natsu's like, what? For your information, though, Aldoron has 1 billion hit points. So perhaps if you were to repeat the same attack, like 900, like 900, okay, 99, okay, the other million, let's just say it like that, the other million points, you might defeat it. And Natsu's like, who the heck are you? You might defeat his back anyway. Do you understand the magnitude of the entity you're dealing with? And Natsu's like, the plant looks almost human. I am, but a part of the wood dragon god Aldoron. The god seed Wolfen. And again, Natsu deeply concerned. Some remain who did not become a part of the wood dragon god. Now I shall exterminate them. And you see what he does? Natsu's like confused. He's like, what the hell are you doing? You oversized weed. I'll burn you up. And Wolfen's like, I've read it. Then you see on the right hand, Gray's like, the hell's going on here? And Lucy's like, tree people? And there's a ton of them, okay? They're all like just like putting their hand. Okay, well, number one, one of them put their hand on Kana's face. And she's like, let me go. I've read it. The one you believe to be the most powerful. What is it even doing? It's transforming. And it became Gildarts. This thing became Gildarts with the plant seed above its head, which is very telling. And Gray's like, Gildarts? Kana says, well, why did it turn into my dad? You gotta be kidding me. It can use I forgot to mention. These things, not only do they take the appearance of who you think is the most powerful, but they also take up their abilities too. It can use Gildarts as magic too. And that's when Lucy says, wait, can these things treat warriors from our memories? And Gray's like, why'd you have to think about Gildarts? And Kana says, I wasn't thinking about anyone. That thing's telepathic. Crap, I bet they'll pit or Leon against me. Like, Gildart's son alone isn't bad enough. Come on, let's scream. Fake or not, Gildarts is bad news. That's what Kana says. Just try not to let those trees get a hold of you. And then, of course, you have something similar happening with Lox as he's trying to get away. Stupid plant people, what do they want? And Urza, I said Urza, but, well, yeah, Urza's is a topic point, but Jalal, like, wondering where Urza is. And you see some of the fairy tale members, like, trying to get away, like, man, they're attacking us in more ways than one. A lot of many masters. Like, Jesus Christ. One Makarov is one thing, but having many? Look, being fakes is one thing. But having multiple Makarovs? I mean, that's a bit worrisome, okay? That is worrisome right there. They all transformed right after they grabbed us. Whatever. Let's get out of here. I've read it. I have perceived the power of the one you believe to be the strongest. And Natsu's like, crap, he's changing shape or something. God seems to manifest the powers of the ones who are seen as the strongest of the memories of those they must exterminate. I shall kill you by becoming an opponent you can never defeat. And he becomes happy. And he's like, what the hell? And Nat's like, no, I think you're onto something. I'm off the deep end is what I am. There must be something stronger in your memories. We're about to engage in a life or death struggle. And he's like, and I always fought with those with Happy by my side. And then Wolfen's like, what's going on with this guy's brain? This will be the second time today I've had to hurt you. Put hurt on Happy. Sorry, buddy. Exterminate them. More than one of them. Man, what a pain. Appreciate the hint. Though, I figured it out. How to defeat Aldoron. Natsu has, like, some scheme going on in his head. Number one, I like it. Okay? Number one, I do like this. As a, not turn of events, per se, but definitely something to keep in mind with Natsu's development. It's pretty cool. And this is where we get into the last portion of the episode, which covers chapter 53. The most precious curse. So you see the soldiers coming up, and you see Gray and Lucy together taking on these guys, and also Taurus is there too. There's too many of them. We can take them down, but more just pop up from the ground. Juvie says water slicer, and Kana says, hey, you know, if Jimmy can use your magic, that must mean everyone else can too. And Gray says, all right, let's get him out of those cards. Just leave the master where he is. Okay. You see what happens? Well, I said Locke, but Gagio's at, Levy's at. What the? Well, where are we? Where are we? And also, you have the Strauss siblings too, with Lasana saying, Mira, you're close. It's. And of course, she has to point this out. Mira is saying, it seems like I don't seem to be wearing any underwear. And Elvin's just like, keep it to yourself, sis. Then, of course, got Maka, got Romeo. Lucy, well, what the heck's going on? And she says, I'll fill you in later, but right now we need your help. Well, what the heck are those things? They're monsters. But Gagio's like, nah. What you're saying is go nuts, right? Totally berserk, Gagio. Well, that we can do, is what Lisana says. Manly Fist, Animal Soul Warcat, as Elfman and Lisana transform. Same thing with Mirror Jane, by the way. Thunder Blast. I'm sure happier having you on our side, Mira. Yeah, wow. That's between Gray and Lucy. And she says, it's weird. Like, I feel like I had a dream where you were beating me up, Gray. A dream? Yeah, that must be what it was. And Freed's like, where's Loxus? Don't know. Hope he's all right. And Evergreen's like, what is with this outfit? Whoa, hey, ice yourself. And Jamie says, just don't let these guys grab you. Yeah, or they'll transform into the person you think is the strongest. And then, of course, you go back on the back. You see Natsu doing what he's doing. Okay, so I know how to defeat Aldoron. Great, but there's just too many of these guys. Gotta get them out of the way. All of them. Fire Dragons roar. See what happens? The sea pops back up. And then Wolfen reads Natsu's mind. I shall read your mind. Yeah, you do that before any more of you join this party. Read it real good. Like, not just saying this, like, as he's smirking, by the way, okay? The man is smirking. So you can obviously know this is part of his plan. Obviously. Wonder if this will work. I've read it. And then he starts to transform. Pitiful soul, to think one with such powerful magic. Victory is now definitely beyond your grasp, Natsu. And again, Natsu's not phased by this, okay? He ain't phased whatsoever. But he just says, hey bro, been a while. And that's kind of where we end off episode 15. Episode 15 ends off on a really, really high note. Okay, and honestly, a lot of episode 15 is just setup. Like the best kind of setup in general. And it makes me glad actually that I decided to save, like, it would have been fun tackling episode 15 by itself. But I think this episode does work so well with the next episode. Okay, it works super, super well with the next episode. But I will say, as a setup episode, easily, okay, plot progression wise, you can say not a lot happened, obviously. But, actually, no, that's not true. A lot did happen in episode 15, okay? Because now we found out destroying the orbs doesn't kill Aldoron, it reawakens him. And we also get the big revelation of Touka being under somebody's influence, okay? Not the White Mage. The White Mage herself was under somebody's influence. And that influence being none other than Selene the Moon Dragon Goddess. And when she pops up, ooh, dude. When her stuff comes in the anime, it's going to be special. It's going to be super, super special. But also, Just fun. It's really, really great. Overall rating. I'm not going to say pure perfection because in terms of adaptation, again, these are like super minor things. These are kind of super minor details. The censorship shit. I'm usually not one to talk much on censorship, but if we are talking about like an accurate adaptation from the manga, and again, this is super minuscule, okay? But if you know fairy tale and you know how things are presented, okay? And look, Celine is the definition of a goddess, okay? Definition. No pun intended, but she is the definition of a goddess. And she should have been portrayed with elegancy, with much ease, you know? And even though it's super minor, I'm still willing to say this episode is an amazing. Okay, it's an amazing episode of Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest. Now that leads us into episode 16. Okay, we are now into episode 16, which is called God Seed, and this covers, you know, the remaining bit, like the last few pages from chapter 53, all the way up until like say the beginning of episode episode chapter 57. So we're here, and as soon as he transforms, okay, as soon as you see what is happening, like Zeref, he starts reacting, and Natsu's like, "Run away!" No, this will do irreparable damage to Aldoron. Erase! And Natsu's like, he can disappear? Oh, no fair. But now that I know if I run into more of these plant people, I can just turn them into Zeref. I'll make him a whole a whole crowd of Zerefs next time. How do you like them apples? Hey, what? So, like, Natsu's like stomping on Aldoron, by the way, okay? But as he's doing that, there's like a root that pops up and like just like drags Natsu down. The right hand, the hell did they just disappear? What's going on? And Lucy's like, hey, look over there. Another one? Stay sharp. And then you see another God Seed pop up. I am the God Seed Metro. I come in Wolfen's steed to exterminate the interlopers. Who or what is Wolfen? As what Lisana says. And Mira Jane says, no idea. Maybe it was those other things? And Levy says, a new champion then. Gajiel's like, thing doesn't make any sense. Of course. Have Elfman saying, maybe those others weren't working out for him. I see. They turn into whoever they think of as most powerful. This is Lucy talking, by the way. One of them must have turned into someone else Aldoron didn't like. And of course, see what's happening to them. They're all turning like they turn into these. I don't want to say colossal titans, but that's the first thing that just popped into my mind. They're like huge. Okay, these things are kind of huge. We're always like, damn, look at the size of them, is what Kana says. Juby says, and the number. Wolfen prefers to play little games, but I simply use force. Grace says, here they come. Gajiel says, son of a gun. I take a little nap and wake up to this. And then, Loxus and Jalal run into one another. Loxus says, Jalal. Jalal goes on to say, Loxus and Urza, were you both okay? I don't know what the hell's going on. When I came, Urza was just lying there like something, like someone's punching bag. But who could? And I love, see, this is what I like. And this is what actually, I mean, look, what's been going on with Jalal was pretty funny. And even he's still confused. He's like, I woke up hog-tied and naked. Well, what is going on here? I saw this thing, but it left almost as soon as it showed up. And then you have another seed popping up. I am the God Seed Gears. And I'm going to tear out all the cogs Aldoron doesn't need. And Jalal says, "Look after Urza for me." Huh? You're not exactly in top shape yourself. And Jalal's just, and that's Locke's talking, by the way, telling Jalal about his condition. But Jalal goes on to say, "Just let me handle this." And you've got Carla saying, what, like, "Wendy, what is that?" And Happy's like, "It's some kind of tree person." And Wendy's thinking, "What do I do? I'm almost out of magic." As by the way, Wendy's carrying the white mage, and Happy's carrying Touka. And I still have to protect these two. My name, my name's Doom the Godsey, and I portend death for all the particles rebelling against Aldoron. Cut over to the seed. Natsu's like, "Where am I? Is this Aldoron's stomach?" And then you hear a voice. Within the 5 orbs resided 5 guardian spirits. Wolfen could read people's minds. Mastriel possessed great strength. Gears was a consummate strategist. And Doom brought death to people. You are a dangerous thing. That is what he said. The voice said. Hey, you said 5 spirits, but you only mentioned 4. That's a cheap cop-out. That's what Natsu's saying. To which there's now other being shows up. I am the 5th. And he appears before Natsu. I am the god seed Aldoron. And Natsu says, so you're like Aldoron's true form. In a sense, yes, I am Aldoron's brain. Aldoron, the leader of the 5 seeds. Huh. And here I was wondering how I was going to take down something that size. But you're not bigger than I am. I think I can manage. You seem to be laboring under a misapprehension, human. All that vast power is at my beck and call. See what happens? You cannot so much as touch me. And Natsu starts screaming. And by the way, chapter 54, that concludes volume 6. So, what we cover next within episode 16, which is chapters 55, 56, and just the beginning of 57, that's all volume 7 content. So from here on out, we cover volume 7. So here we are. Natsu is screaming in pain. Aldoron has been awaiting for this moment. The moment of reawakening, which I haven't even got a chance to cover this. But the person who voiced Aldoron, amazing job, by the way. Amazing job. And I think I want to say that this episode just got dubbed recently. So, not this episode in particular, but the last episode, 15, which I'll have to check out here shortly. I do got to catch up on the dub at some point, but when it could trample Giltina beneath its feet and bring all the land of the continent into its fold, this land is where Aldoron rested after being wounded in the battle with Acnologia centuries ago. At first, it was not quite so large, though it was still the size of a city. To amass power and recover, Aldoron caused the town to be built on its back, and drew nourishment from the people who lived there. Its body continued to grow, until it was larger than the mountains and taller than the clouds. It was when that was when Aldoron knew its power was beyond even its own control. It produced 5 orbs and 5 guardian spirits to fetter its strength. And the white mage didn't even know any of that when she destroyed the orbs. That's what Natsu said. To which Aldoron says, Aldoron is done sleeping. Now that it is awake, this land shall perish. And dude, the devastation Aldoron does, not only when it screams, but like when it lays its foot, and you see the ground like shaking and like buildings being destroyed. All that's happening. Natsu says, I won't let that happen. There's nothing you can do about it. And Aldoron's doing a lot to Natsu. Okay? Like, Natsu's taking a lot of damage. What's going on? I didn't even see the attack. Cut over to the town on the right hand. You see what's going on with Gajil. Yo, even my iron strikes can't even dent it. What the hell? To which Levy says, Gajil, this thing is interesting. And then, of course, you have the Strauss siblings doing what they're doing, seeing the Thunder Legion, seeing Taurus and Lucy. Things are strong, but at this rate, and of course, see the team up with Gray and Juvia. Let's target the main body. Right. Ice Hammer, Water Slicer. And pulled a golem right out of the ground? I am power. All that I am is power itself. Juvie says, but great, if it used the golem to defend itself, that means the main body wants to avoid getting hit, doesn't it? And then, of course, you cut over to where things are with Jalal as he's standing toe-to-toe with Gears. What you all did to Urza. And Gears says, I don't know what you're talking about, but I know one thing. Your gears have begun to turn. And then we cut over to Doom saying, let's play, let's play. And Carla says, Wendy's magic is almost spent. I guess I'll have to do something about this. And Carla transformed into like her, her nickel girl form. And because she obviously knows that Wendy is in a pickle. She knows that. She knows Wendy was in a tight bond. And Wendy says, Carla, be careful. If only I could transform into a big cat or something. Like, first of all, I mean, y'all know this. I love Happy as a character, but he really should have had something, okay? When Panther Lily and Carla have, like, Panther Lily by himself already had a great form, okay? Carla having a transformation is another thing, too. Happy needs some love, okay? We need to make that be known. Happy needs some love and spotlight, okay? Like, Happy legitimately, I will say this. As far as like a big moment goes, okay? Like, yeah, he was able to have something against Touka when he threw the orb. That's one thing. But I mean, like, in terms of like fighting capabilities, Happy needs something, okay? And I do think a transformation from Happy is long overdue. It is long overdue for Happy. We need that. Happy needs that transformation. At some given point, it's going to happen. But see what happens. Doom's like, yay. You can be the first to have a destiny of death. Yay, yay. And Carla's like, hey, well, what are these things? Of course, see what's happening there. Carla's being turned to stone. Well, more like a petal, actually. The Flower of Destiny drops a petal with every count of 60. Now, when all the petals fall, the girls will die. Carla's like, what? Not Carla, but Wendy's like, what? And Happy says there are 5 petals. You mean we have 5 minutes? Anomaly, dispel, rise. That's what Wendy says as she tries to dispel Carla. And Doom says this isn't an anomaly, though. It's a destiny of death. Thanks for playing with me, cat lady. And, Happy in mad tears, they get the bluff, right? Carla, hang in there. I can't believe this. Who will play with me next? Come on, come on, come on. And then we get to the latter bit of the next chapter, the latter bits of the episode, which covers chapter 56. Friends you can count on. Okay? So Wendy is devastated. Same thing with Happy. Happy's devastated too. Carla, well, I keep pulling the stuff off, but it comes right back. And you have Token the White Mage just off on the side, unconscious. Wendy's thinking, I've only got enough magic left for a few enchantment spells. I don't have enough magic power to attack. Maybe I could power up Happy. Like, she's thinking, yo, Happy could do something. But then she just thinks, wait a second. Super fish attack. Huh? He wouldn't stand a chance. But now Irene will wake up. She said she was out of magical power anyway. Okay, what about this next? This is Doom talking. Spore, snow, a blizzard of spores? These are a destiny of death too. Oh, they're sticking to me. Oh no, don't tell me these things. They suck the life out of you too. But my body, I can't move. Ah! That's Doom talking, by the way. Sand rebellion. And he's like, huh? My spores. Wendy, are you okay? And it's Max, Warren, Lockie, and the crew. They're all here. Wendy's safe. We don't know what's going on here, but we're here to help. We got this. Not encouraging backup. You say something happy? We have to stop that thing fast, or Carla. Is Carla in trouble? Carla, well, what's this about? She's covered in spores. Yay! Lots of new playmates, is what Doom's saying. But what is this thing? Now we can all play together. Spore stream! And Max is like, spores are no match for my sand. Max! We don't have enough magic. It doesn't matter how many of you there are. You're trash. You're trash. But Wendy does what she can. I believe in all of you. I grant an enchantment with all the magic, with all the power I have. This power, I can feel it. It's strengthening our magic. Huh? The rest is up to you. So Wendy does what she can, and she's like completely out now. Happy says, Wendy, you have to help Carla. You're damn right we will. Now, you use your Seath magic. You got it. That's Warren talking, by the way. Seath magic, animal possession. Bear the knuckle. No, it blew my spores away. My body's imitating his. It's called dance magic. Blocky, follow-up attack. And then, of course, you Blocky what she's doing with her would make gun punch, which is amazing to see, by the way. Kanana, redness, okay. Oi, poison aroma. Then, of course, the hack attack too, sword paint. Enough, small fry, like you need to learn to learn your place. Spore, big bang. And we're like, nah. Yeah, we're probably weak, but we're still mages of fairy tale. Ugh, what is this awful sound in my head? If we couldn't help one little girl in trouble, we can help ourselves in fairy tale. We wouldn't call ourselves fairy tale. Oi! Individually, our magic may not be much, but together, we can beat any enemy. Shrimp, small fries, trash. Yikes, a bunch more of those spores. Wendy and the others are always saving my skin. This time it's my turn, which I love this, by the way. I love that Max is getting some spotlight show. I do, okay, because I thought Max was a super underutilized character in the original series, and it's always great to see the other members of Fairy Tail like getting some spotlight and love. I think that's really, really great. And he goes on to say, here's a little something I learned from Aji. And Happy's like, from Ashiel? What? It was the last time we went to Alcatesia. You know, the prince where he used sand magic? Such power in this magic. Shameful, even with Wendy's enchantment. I still can't match the man himself. Rammel's safe. And you see what happens. Carla, he not only defeats Doom, but Carla's back to herself. Huh? Habby's happy with. Like, Habby's excited that Carla's back to normal. Carla! And Wendy's knocked out. What, Wendy? What happened? Everyone pitched in to save you. We've got lots of friends we can count on in Fairy Tail. Dance of joy. This is Warren talking, by the way. And then, of course, you see Warren too. Nice line. You have Loki and Kikiano. We took out that plant monster. But that's not where the episode ends, by the way. No, the episode actually ends, like I said, this episode, 16, ends off just a little bit into the next episode. Next chapter, which is chapter 57, titled The Strength to Live. And like I said, not much gets covered. Within episode 57, within chapter 57, it's only just the opening pages. So you see what happens with Aldoron, okay? And Aldoron notices, he's like, wait, the destiny of death was broken? I can idle here no longer. You see what happens? I saw that. I don't know why, but you've got less magic, don't you? And that's kind of where we end off, by the way. Okay? Like, I can idle here no longer. And that's it. That's kind of where we end off episode 16. With, him attacking Natsu, and Natsu just, catching his breath, like, like on some Steve Rogers shit, like, I can do this all day. And that's where we end up episode 16. And I will say this, out of the two episodes, if episode 15 was a setup episode, and episode 16 is the follow-up, easily pure perfection. It's easily a pure perfection episode. Simply because, and while it is cool seeing, our usual cast of characters getting spotlight, okay? Like, Natsu getting a spotlight, of course, Lucy, Gray, Juvia, Wendy. It's always great seeing our main characters get their spotlight treatment, okay? But it's always also, I'm like trying to get my words together here. But also, it's great to see other members of Fairy Tail getting their spotlight moments too. And that's really where this highlight is with the episode also. Because, A, you have Aldoron and Natsu, that square off, which has been phenomenal. But also seeing the other members of Fairy Tail stepping up and doing what they're doing. That was great. And it does make me look forward to seeing with what's to come with episode 17. And if knowing the content of the manga, if episode 17 ends where I think it'll end, then oh my god, it's gonna be amazing. Okay, it's gonna be such a treat. But like I said, episode 17, that stream will take place tomorrow. The live stream discussion for episode 17 is going to happen sometime tomorrow. Like, after I'm done with work for the day tomorrow, that'll be when I do the stream for episode 17. But overall, you guys, that is pretty much all I have to say when it comes to this live stream discussion / review for Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest episodes 15 and 16. Overall rating, like I said, 15 isn't amazing. 16 is pure perfection. So overall, you get an amazing plus rating between both these episodes combined. And with that being said, you guys, that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm LuckyRave. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Fairy Tail. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. Laters.